At one point, Marvel Studios and Marvel TV were saying hashtag it's all connected, and then that sort of went away. But now, as we can see, yeah, it's all connected, even though there's parts of the whole MCU that largely can stand on their own. Werewolf by Night, for example, that doesn't need to be in the MCU. It's great that it is, but that project could largely stand on its own and in its own universe if you wanted it to. So it's not surprising that one of the people behind Marvel is teasing way more projects like Werewolf by Night, which are largely disconnected and can stand on their own. So this comes at us directly from Marvel Studios president, Kevin Feige. So he's literally the man that knows everything because he's in charge of everything. And with the release of Werewolf by Night now behind us and multiple projects down the road coming at us, and obviously them teasing way more projects that haven't been announced, that have been teased and so forth, he was asked about the importance of having standalone projects, but also having projects that connect deeply to various other things happening. And the one thing he said is that it's important to have standalone stories that introduce characters, and he used Miss Marvel and Moon Knight as examples, saying that it's great that you have series like this which can largely stand on their own in the MCU and tell you a completely different tale, but you can see the breadcrumbs and the connective tissue to the bigger universe. And he said that the expectation going forward is more projects that approach the MCU like this, where if you're just watching this project, if you're not invested in everything MCU, you can watch it on its own and understand what's going on. But then they can build off of that and tie it in and then reference enough things that you know what they're talking about. And he says that this is kind of going back to how it was in the early days of Phase 1 and Phase 2, where projects were approached like this. You could watch Thor, and on its own, it's a Thor film, but it connects to Iron Man 2 and elements of other films. Same thing with the first Avenger. And he says that obviously you have things going down the road that are big, which is the Kang Dynasty and the Multiverse Saga, where it's all gonna eventually matter. But for right now, their goal is to essentially keep doing what they did in those early phases, reestablish a new through line, new characters, and then once people realize who these characters are, then bring them into the fold and have them be more meaningful. Which again, I think is great. More disconnected projects that can stand on their own, I think are always welcome. I know people always flip-flop on this. They want Daredevil in the MCU. He has to connect with these characters. He has to reference these things, and it didn't happen for 3 seasons. Now it's going to happen, and people are flip-flopping on and going, well, we don't want it because it's not the exact thing we want. Again, you can't have it both ways, so at least they're trying to play it both ways. At first, a little standalone, then here's your big crossover, and now you just kind of know to expect it.